I feel like my boy is easy to raise. The girls, I don't know if maybe it's coming from the traumas we're speaking about that, raising girls, guys, it's a lot. They go through a lot emotionally. They're very unstable, just like us.
Welcome to the Mom's Mental Oasis, the show that explores maternal mental health, motherhood, and parenting. We are all about nurturing, supporting, and educating because we know that when we know better, we do better. I am your host, Modern Makotingo Beni, and it is always a pleasure to have you with me. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and very much welcome. And for those who've been with me, I appreciate you. So today's is a continuation of our previous episode where I'm talking about being a mom of two, but specifically being a mom of two different genders, a boy and a girl. But I thought, okay, I'm going to add this conversation with one of my friends who also is on the same boat as me. So I want her to introduce herself. Let me see. We're turning from colleagues to friends and to family. It's been a ride, y'all.
Oh my God.
Hi, friend.
Yeah,
Please
no,
introduce yourself.
it's been a long time, eh?
It's been...
Okay, so, do I need to?
No, you can look there.
Oh, so my name is Noxolo. Hey, I never thought this would be so difficult to introduce myself. So I'm a mom, like she said. I'm a mom of three, two girls and one boy. I'm a social worker by profession. I'm a lover of life. I love people. What else should I add, friend?
No, I think that sums it up a little bit.
Yes, I'm just me. I'm like her, by the way. Not extreme, but yeah. Yeah, that's me.
This is why we're friends. Let's pick up where you were talking about your three kids. So you can tell me a bit of that, the personality. Like you already know. My firstborn is very strong-willed, and then the second one, the sweetest man.
Okay. So like I said, I have three kids. So the first one, Siva, we call her Siva in the house. She's a girly girl. Yes. Like you said, you call her Beyonce.
I call her Beyonce, guys.
Man, she's so beautiful. By the way, I have three amazing children, very intelligent, all of them. Like I said, the first one, she's a girly girl. She likes to keep to herself. And now I don't know if she's, I told her last week that you are pretty nyana. It's like she's not old enough for me to call her a teenager, but also she's not young enough for me to say she's a baby anymore. So she's going through a phase now.
That transition.
Yes, which I'll speak about it more. But she's generally a sweet person, likes to keep to herself, very helpful. And then I have the second one. Oh my God. she's like Nzaki.
Like mine.
Very strong-willed, very opinionated. Yeah, she'll tell you where to get off. Like she challenges me and the dad. Like but otherwise she's very sweet and soft, I've noticed. And she's the one that takes care of us in the house when we're not feeling well. She says she wants to be a doctor, so she tones herself down when we're sick or she needs to be helpful. But otherwise, she's feisty and she's very, very, very bright and intelligent. Like I had that now in school that, she's a dynamite in class.
Yeah. And
then I have the last one, the baby. He's 18 months old. Oh my God, the sweetest little boy you could ever have. Shame, man. I don't know why I don't know if maybe because he's the only boy or what, but he's so sweet. But I've noticed that he almost has the same personality as the older sister. Very quiet and reserved a bit and so on, but Shem, he's sweet. I think he's like your boy as well. Sweet, doesn't trouble anyone. He just eats, plays, minds his own business. Doesn't cry. He cries when he's like okay, but generally he's
just the sweetest.
Like the last born is like the second one. The one that troubles me the most. But Shem, man, I love how their personalities are so blended. I love that.
So now. It makes I've been realizing how different it is raising a girl and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, I did not realize that I would like pink so much. Like this, my baby girl has so much pink. I'm shocked. Like,
Yes.
you know my colors.
Yes.
Pink is like the last on the list, but the way she's so full of pink. And then with the boy, I think I went through my color style is red to blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in some sort of way, I do have a structural mindset of gender,
Yeah.
which is what I didn't want before. But I somehow just, when I'm raising them, I have that mentality. So I wonder, are you having the same issue?
I think for me, I think with the first one, I struggled with the pinky colors. Like, a girl has to be this way, has to have headbands, has to do this. I can't cut her hair, this and that. But I think when I had the second one, because receiver is, I had receiver, the second born 18 months after I gave birth to the first one.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, I don't want the pinky pickies anymore. They bore me. So I just started dressing it. However, I was not really stressed about too much pinky stuff or dressing them in a certain way. And I've noticed that also, like I said, the second one is a bit more different than the first one. So she's more like a tomboy, if I can put it like that. Even though she can be a girly girl, but she doesn't really like pinky stuff a lot. She likes neutral colors and all of this. And I think it's fine. I don't try to impose a lot on her. And so, like I said, the first one is a girly. So the other one's just, So with the boy, I didn't want the blue thing.
So it just went your own way.
It annoyed me. So that's why even when I said if I do have a baby shower or if I have like a first birthday, I'm just going to keep the colors neutral. That's why I think for the first birthday I went for a green. I didn't want blue because society has this thing here, a boy must wear blue, a boy must, So with him, I'm also neutral. He just wears whatever. He has yellow, he has pink also, because some of the clothes I inherited from his sister and it's fine. His fitted sheet is pink. So it's like, so I'm not too stressed about that. I think the first one, I was stressed, but after that I was like,
it's fine.
It's fine, man. Let me just.
So then you don't, but do you then end up parenting them very differently? Because I feel like, yes, I do tend to do that, but I'm trying to get that mindset out. I know what I'm doing now is I tend to, try to push Clement to be a little bit more because he's so reserved and I'm not used to that. It's like I'm dealing with his dad. Like, it's like my mini love.
Yes.
And it's weird because I'm used to loud. And
you like, stop it.
But Anna, you must be so sweet and my baby
man.
boy. And he can be so upbeat, but he can also be so reserved.
Yeah.
Then I do know I try to balance the parenting, but somehow at the end of it, I do parent them very differently. So does that fall onto you? And what is it based on specifically?
So I think for me, it's based on, I don't want to say attitude, but I think their personalities.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that they all need the same thing. Kids generally need the same way of doing things. They need love, they need affection, they need security, they need emotional stability. But I think, like I said, with receiver, when I have to parent her, I'm much more like, okay, I'm not firm, but I'm like, let's have a conversation, whatever. But with the second one, I have to be firm because if I'm not, anything can happen. Like she pushes me, so I know because of her personality, I need to be a certain way, even though the goal is the same.
Yeah.
And then with the baby, because he's still 18 months old, I think he's still going to come out and for me to see his real personality. But otherwise, I feel like I just parent them the same way. Like I said, it's just based on the personality.
Yeah, no, I get you. Because which is the same in both sides.
Yes.
And, because I really have this thing where I know I shouldn't, but when they say don't cry to him, because he's a boy, it bugs me. No, it bugs me. It bugs me because I don't want him to feel like he can't be emotional. And I feel like that's one of those gender expectations society places on kids. And what do you have? What is one that you really working hard to not have it around the house?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that thing. No. So I try to. Friend, I don't know. Repeat the question.
No, like think about it this way. You see how my Sana is so strong-willed?
Mm.
Like she is in your face. And I'm no family will be like, no, you need to do this to your child. You must come.
Yes.
What do you feel like with them both being a boy and a girl? What's that one expectation specifically for the boy? Because for me, it's crying. Because I'm in my mind, I need to teach myself. I don't want them to stop him from to express his emotions. Because when he keeps it inside, you're already creating danger there.
Yeah. I think it's the same, the emotion thing, and also that thing of Guti. Girls must be nurturers. They must take care. They must, do this and that. So I feel like it's okay for the boy to be also a nurturer.
Yes,
You're
right.
It's okay.
No, but you're right. It's a gender thing.
It's this gender thing, and I think at first I battled with it, but I think my husband is the one that got me out of that shell, because he's like, I need Masana and Receiver to be strong as women so that they can be able to handle the world, whether they get exposed to male society says there's certain jobs that are for men or there's certain things that men do. So Receiver and Masana need to know, let's say they need to know how to change a tire. They need to know how to, I'm just giving an example.
I mean, I can't change a tire. But I hear
they need to know how to do certain things, not because they it's meant for male figures or whatever, but they need to know with also the men. So that's where we are different, me and my husband. So I feel like with the boy, I just let him cry, express himself, because society says indoda ikali, So I think that's one of the battles that we're having in society, that a man is supposed to keep things in, be strong, and so on. So I think as he grows up, I'm going to teach him the same way I'm teaching the girls, that let's express yourself. If I did something wrong, say, mommy, what you said the other day, I did not like it, as much as maybe I was naughty, but I did not like how you made me feel. That's what I'm trying to teach them. So we have meetings in our house, every Monday we have meetings, Monday nights.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I can just see them.
So we have topics. Masana the other day, she's like, I did not like the way you exposed me to my teacher because you said this, and I'm like, but so she Risva is like, Mama, I did not like the fact that you said this and that you said you're gonna get me this, but you didn't get it. It's like now you have empty promises, whatnot, So I'm teaching them to be able to express themselves, to understand that it's okay, as much as maybe you've done wrong. It's okay for me to also say, this is why I had to do that wrong. This is why, because I believe that there's always in every behavior or in every outcome, there's a reason why that happens. So I want them to learn that,
Yeah.
So with the boy, like I said, he's still a baby, but I think I'm also going to teach him that, let's have a conversation. Let's talk, express yourself. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. So we also have that as well in the house as a screaming episode. Go in the room, scream if you want, but after that, come back. I'll tell you where to get off because of what you did, but at least they express themselves.
Yeah.
So I think with the boy, I'm going to teach them that this society thing for my house doesn't work, honestly.
But now it comes to, then it makes me think about how do we then balance emotional challenges? Like at some point, we have to say, okay, you need to, like when you're going through something, you give yourself a day to just feel it out.
Yes.
And then you move on. But then with kids, it's very different. We
Yeah.
don't know how. Well, with toddlers, it's actually completely different. You hit them now, they forget.
Yes.
And they beg for round 2. But now your level of kids is different. You've got these 2 older girls, and then you got this little boy. Then how are you balancing that emotional intelligence? Because you gave us an example right now about how you get them to talk and express. But now how do you then end up balancing it with the different stages of their kids?
Oh, it's quite difficult to be honest, but friend, I just freestyled, guys. I don't want to lie to you. I just go with the flow of what's happening on that day. If I feel like, okay, Receiver baby is not ready to speak to me, I'll just check up on her. Are you okay? Yeah. But you can see that she's not really okay, so I'll just let her be for that day or whatever. But otherwise, later I'll call her, and if she still doesn't want to talk, I won't force it on her, because I don't like forcing things on her. So I'll just let her be. But this Masana is just like a toddler. I don't know. She forgets easily. I don't know if maybe because she's a mommy's baby or what. But when it comes to me, she's very forgiving, if I can put it like that. But
That's a nice
with her sister, man, she's So they fight now. They are friends after, but I've noticed that the older one, like I said, she likes to keep to herself and so on. So she's quite sensitive. So she takes time to forgive. So learning them, understanding them, I think that's very important, to understand your children, understand how this one is wired, understand how the other one is wired, so that it's easy for you to be able to tackle when they have those episodes of, what did you say, friend? Emotional outbreaks and so on. So my son cries all the time. She cried, the second one, she cries all the time. So I know even if she cries, she's gonna be fine. So when Lucifer cries, then I worry, because something is definitely wrong, because she's not a person that cries for whatever. She'll say, "Mama, this and that," or otherwise she just keeps to herself, and then But when my son cries all the time, I'm not saying that I will overlook her crying and whatnot. I gauge it, but
you understand.
But I understand. Yes, it's just the boy, like I said, sweet, doesn't really cry. If he cries, then I know. If he cries like a lot, then I know there's a serious problem, because he will cry there because he wants the booby. Or by the way, I'm still breastfeeding. He wants the booby.
They like it. It takes a while.
No, it does. Shame. No, that's a topic for another day. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think just understanding the way they're wired. Yeah. I think it helps with how you handle the emotional outbursts and so on. But I think emotional intelligence, to teach your children emotional intelligence, is very important.
No. And then it comes to us. I think I've always said this every time on my podcast, that you need to heal when you're a mom. And unfortunately, the healing also doesn't mean you're perfected. It means you're going to get triggered as you go on. But as long as you've taken the time to learn and get help, professional help, by the way, not help from Facebook or Instagram, but actually professional help.
Yes, that's important.
You will get better. This is a triggering kind of question as well. So one of the things I realized that I had issues with was my own mother wound, which I worked on. And I feel like having my baby girl was one of the things that made me really take that big step of putting the work on it. I think it's one of the reasons I also had anxiety when the second one came through, because I don't want to name you guys. I've got PTSD.
Oh my God.
And I want to get it in, and I know I'm struggling a lot. It's struggling. But it's now, when I think about it, it makes me think, have you ever had a moment where you feel like, okay, I need to put some work on myself for the kids?
Yeah. You're a lot. You're no, I'm an emotional wreck, guys. I'm being honest. No, there's certain things that I've been through in life, also stemming from my background or my childhood, that I feel like has affected the way I am today, the kind of adult that I am, which involves self-esteem. Because growing up, I was bullied as a child, so that affected me. And also weight issues, how my weight is. When I'm not okay, I gain weight. This weight, she knows. And also, so it comes from not being able to express myself, because back in the days, I'm not saying that my parents would say, hey, don't speak up, whatever. But back in the days, there was a time where when you had to express yourself, it was like, do this, don't do that, whatever. You were not given a platform to be able to speak up and whatnot. And also, you can't look your parent in the eye because it's a form of disrespect, stuff like that. And also, you can't sit with your father, because your father, I don't know why people have this thing that you can't sit with your father.
Like, it's a black thing. It's like if it's disrespectful. It's
seen as
disrespectful.
Yes.
Which I you know what? The old people.
So I think with those traumas, well, it's trauma some way, somehow. So I think now as a parent, sometimes I get triggered, because now sometimes a receiver now, she's growing. The first one, she's growing up, so she has a structure of a dad. She's quite tall, so everything about her now, she's developing boobs now. She has this thing of some days she comes, she's like, Mommy, my friend said I need to get a bra because my breasts are out. So I'm like, now my child, my poor child. So I'm like, now I see her through my eyes of when I was a child, that now kids are seeing her in a certain way. So that triggered me Or Masana says the other day, so I did my lashes. She's like, yo, Mama, why do your eye, what's wrong with your eyes? They look like your feather duster. That child. So automatically now I'm like, there's something wrong with me. No,
I'm sorry for laughing, but she fascinates me. Like, guys, that's my.
So her thing is with the second born. Her thing is I can't lie. I need to tell the truth, and that's something that we taught them with that you shouldn't lie. But now also I can't handle the truth. So that's some of the triggers that, you know what, back in the days it was okay for people to lie, whatever, but now I'm saying to them, don't lie, tell me, you know, but I can't handle the truth. Right? And then she's like, but now why are you getting emotional? Because you said, you know, but I'm being honest, you look like a feather dust. What's wrong with your own lashes? You know, now she's like, you know, so now that thing comes back, like, why am I having artificial lashes now? You know? So I get triggered a lot parenting my children, but I think it's something that I think you've also been helping me over the years with trying to work on those traumas, you know, the low self-esteem, how I see myself, how I express myself, and also understanding that, man, I'm not perfect. You know, the most important thing is progress.
like honestly, just no.
We struggle with that.
No, honestly, like perfection, and I understand, because that's also one of the things I would struggle with. You know how I am. Like, I want everything to be so perfect because I like being in control, guys. And
hey, when are you worse?
I like. So now that's the one thing I'm actually intentionally stopping myself. By the way, friend, but you like, my friend has grown when it comes to her confidence.
Yeah.
Like, hello, friend, that needs to be pointed out, guys. Because I always say that our girls reflect us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, yes, there's going to be little things about us that we're not perfect at yet, and they will absorb it. But maybe by some luck, as they grow older, it will unwire. You know? Yeah. But when it comes to your confidence, friend, I hope you never forget that it's improved, y'all. Like,
thank you so much.
And she always makes sure that she looks good. I've never seen I look good. And
it's progress, friend. It's progress.
And that's what I like when you pointed out that being perfect is not important. Like,
no,
take it out of there. Take it out of there. But, you know, as you're talking,
yes,
and I think about my control issues. It's something from childhood.
Yes.
I know it's rooted
being a firstborn also.
Yeah. I can't help it, guys. It's like, you know, but I'm unlearning that because...
Sorry.
Maybe it's because the gap that my two kids have, their relationship is so openly. Like, it's not the same. I had a 6-year gap. Skim Sam. And it took, I think our friendship started when I was at Verts. That's when we started being connected. But now I'm teaching myself that I don't need to be in control. And it's both sides. Even with love, I tend to want to be controlled.
Shame.
And that's that one thing about my childhood that I'm unlearning. What are you unlearning with yourself?
A lot, friend. Like I said, the it's okay for me not to be perfect. I'm striving for progress in my life, and it's okay for me not to know everything, because I think also that's one thing that I battled with. Like, you know, as a mom, you must do this. As a mom, you must, you know.
Exactly.
So that's why I said now I just freestyle. Whatever happens, happens, you know. Before, I used to get anxiety that if it doesn't work out, then what? So I also struggle with control issues.
Yeah.
And I think it stems also from childhood, also at work. Like, it affected me in all areas of my life. So I'm trying. Actually, I'm not trying. I said try should not exist anymore. It's either I do it or not.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really, really pushing myself to stop this control thing. If something doesn't work out, it's fine. Tomorrow has its own challenges.
Yeah.
So I just go with whatever that comes on that day, because there was a time I can't control how receiver feels. I can't control how the little one feels. You know how the little one was born, challenges here and there. I think that's where I realized that, I don't have control over it. I must just give it to my high power and let it go. And I've noticed that things work out. Things work out all the time. The most important thing is how I handle what I feel inside based on whatever that's happening.
Yeah.
They say you can't control the external stuff, but you can control how you react to it as a person. So that's what I'm learning, but unlearning that control. Let it go.
Yeah.
Progress in life, it's what's important. And also, I do not know everything. It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's true. It's true. Now, let's just be, okay, I'm going to be frank there. For me,
Yeah.
I feel like raising a girl is much easier than raising a boy.
Yeah.
It's as much as my baby boy is sweet and all that. I understand that. But in my mind, I feel like a girl for me is easy because it's based on who, it's like she's like a reflection of me, but in her own way. So it's easy when, you know, she's emotional. I don't go crazy. I'm like, no, she needs to express herself because that's how girls are. But now my baby boy, it doesn't like as much. You know, he laughs. No, he loves me. Don't get that wrong. I'm like his favorite person.
Yes.
But when I look at how I was with Nzaki and compared to him, like I used to kiss that girl a lot. You know, my baby girl likes kissing because of me and my obsession. But the boy is like, we'll fight.
Yes.
So I want to know for you, your honest opinion, which gender do you feel like it's easier to raise?
I feel like my boy is easy to raise. The girls, I don't know if maybe it's coming from the traumas we're speaking about that, raising girls, guys, it's a lot. They go through a lot emotionally. They're very unstable, just like us. You know, so I feel like maybe it's because I see myself in them sometimes. So having to feel like I need to protect them, you know.
I know what you mean.
It's something that I struggle. Maybe I have this thing that I need to take out in my head that, okay, boy will be okay. But again,
no, friend.
So I think that's one thing that also I need to unlearn. That, you know what, as a boy, boys will be okay, but girls, they need to be, you know, treated in a certain way so they're okay in the environment. Like I said, I'm just grateful for my partner because he's pushing them, you know. You know, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to do this. You need to act this certain way. You need to, you know. So I think he's a male figure, so it's easy for him. But with me, I feel like I need to protect them all the time. Even when there was a time they had to go home with my sister with a bus for the first time using public transport. I was so stressed that day.
And you were worried.
I was worried. I was like, oh my God, are they gonna be okay? You know. He's like, what's wrong with you? You know, what's wrong with you? So I'm always just panicking all the time. And receiver went to a sleepover at school. I was not okay. Like I didn't sleep. But he was okay. Like he was fine. Like the teachers are there and whatnot. But there was a specific sleepover that triggered him. It was a sleepover at a friend's house. That was the first and last one that we said we're gonna take it to, because you don't know what happens to other people's homes. So that's the only one that stressed him, but otherwise he's okay. So with me, I think, girls, I feel like raising girls, it's a lot, having to deal with the emotions. Like I said, maybe it's because I feel like the boy will be okay. Maybe it's something that I want
to touch on that.
Yes.
You know, that's a good point, because I feel like maybe that's why I am so comfortable with my little man. Because in my head, I'm like, he's gonna be okay.
Yes.
Because boys are, but maybe that's one of the main reasons we're having so many issues in our country when it comes to men.
Yes.
The idea that we're not making space for them to have that openness, to be like, I'm not okay. I can't handle it all.
Exactly.
How do I do it? And oh my God. So now I'm like,
Yeah, so I think that's one thing that I feel like I need to fight on working on, because we are not sure. We are not sure whether it's gonna be okay or not.
Working on assumptions.
And also, like I said, I'm a social worker, so there's a lot of things that I get exposed to, like a lot of male figures are committing suicide. Why is that? You know, a lot of male figures are saying, I'm using substances or drugs because I could not be in my house. I could not express myself. I had to take on this role automatically because I'm a male figure.
No.
So I think that's one thing that I feel like I need to work on with my boy. I'm glad we touched on that, hey?
Because like now I'm like, when I get home, I'm gonna be just kissing him. He's like, I'm kissing you, baby. I'm kissing you.
And they don't like being kissed. They do not like that.
They don't like.
But Shem, I've noticed that the boy is much more clingy with me than in comparison to the girls.
Hello.
So I don't know if it's a boy mom thing, or maybe we are just too.
You know, if you're a boy mom, you can comment, let us know.
Yes.
Because I was asking Lavi the other day, like, don't you think the boy is more clingy to me than the girl. And he's like, nah, they look this. I'm like, no, but no.
Or maybe it's us.
Maybe it's us.
Maybe it's us.
Maybe it's us. Our presumption of how things are.
I was thinking maybe I'm the problem. Because, I don't know, friend, but I feel like with the boy, it's the connection is different. As much as I love my kids the same, but I feel like the connection with him is different.
Now, that comes to, I think I once said this in one of my, when I get to know the host, that, and this is something I actually have gotten to realize. I love my kids. Like, don't get that wrong. The love for them, for me, it's the same. But the way I express it, it's different.
It's different, yeah.
And it's based completely on their personalities.
Yeah.
The effect, like my baby girl isn't, she affectionate and she just wants the attention. No, she's
like you. She's you.
She's me. That's why sometimes I go crazy. I'm dealing with me. But then my little man, I give him, but the effect, it's so different. It's a quiet love.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he's like love. I remember I said this before, like I remember when we went for the wine tasting, that because of him, I've fallen in love even more with my husband, because I feel like I'm learning to express love, but I'm learning to express it the way I'm expressing it with him.
Yes.
So maybe you can put in on how your love for them is so different and how you share it with them.
Yeah, like I said previously, that so I realized that they all need the same kind of love, emotional stability, security, and whatnot. So also, I'm the same with you. So it's based on their personalities. Like I said, my receiver, as much as she tends to keep to herself. So our form of love language, me and her, it's okay. It's not quality time, but it's like we have chicken sessions. Are you okay? Oh, mom. So she says she's a Gen, I don't know, guys, this TikTok language, I don't know I feel like I'm old. Like, so I try to like engage with her on things that she likes to do, okay, so tell me what's happening. And also something that I wanted to touch on, so I speak to my kids about anything.
The openness.
Yes, I'm very open with them. So I speak to them about dating, because I've noticed that now
because the first one is it's a preteen.
Yes, they're like, no, mama. Last year she got a Valentine's gift in a bag from this boy. She didn't know, and she was so shocked. I'm like, what's happening? No, this boy I heard this boy has a crush on me. I'm like, what is a crush? And then the nanny in the house at the time was like, no, May, you can't. Why are you speaking like that? And when I tell them, I got pregnant, and this is what, even though I didn't tell them how it happened. But I was like, okay, there's mommy and daddy, and then we prayed to God, and then God put a seed in my stomach and whatnot. But then I was so shocked. She's like, why? But I need my kids to learn everything. So that's why I feel like with the receiver, like those check-in sessions, so she's comfortable. She's like, mommy, this boy has a crush on me. Or mommy, yesterday this and that happened. Or mommy, I made this TikTok video. So I just have little check-in sessions with her where like, are you okay? Are you fine? And she also checks up on me. And then with Masana is like my handbag. She's always here. She's like, Mama, I'm here. Mama, I'm here. Mama, can I just sit? Like, she's always here. So with her, she's very expressive. So she also pushes me to also express myself, and so on. So I think with her, guys, sometimes I miss her, even though she's a lot. So I think with her, it's easy because she's around me. So we speak all the time. It's openness as well, even though she asks this weird questions, because she's turning 8 now in April. There's certain things she doesn't understand. And also she feels like she's as old as a sister. I think that's why they clash a lot, but with her, it's just openness, So with the little boy, hey friend, she's still a baby, but so I don't know with him.
You have yet to find it.
Yeah, I think so, Shem, because he's still 18 months.
Yet to explore.
Yeah.
No, but it's okay.
I think I'm just hoping. Okay. But the most important thing is just openness, spending time with them. I think that's also important. And spending time doesn't need to involve money, guys, because people are like, no, I can't go out because I don't have money. You can do a lot of things with your children in the house, or taking a walk, going to the park, whatever, so spend time with your kids, because like you said, our kids mirror us.
They really do. They mirror
so
us
I was even shocked, because as much as we are growing up, we are married and all of those things, I was so shocked that the kids are like, I want to get married. I'm like, no, I want to get married because of this and that. I was so shocked, because in my head I was like, hey, me and that are not, with marriages, guys, or relationships in general, there's fights and all of those things. It's part of growth in the relationship. Arguments.
I said it. if anybody has a perfect, we don't fight.
No,
for me it's a red flag.
It's a serious red flag.
How are you growing with each other?
Yes.
But I like the point you made about, especially if you have, this is for the pre-moms, preteen moms, be the first source of information for your child.
Exactly.
Because outside, don't assume that the way you're raising your kids, somebody's raising them the same way.
Yes.
Because these kids, man, they're too advanced for their own knowledge. So you need to be the first source of information for your child. And I love that you pointed that out.
That's important for me. As much as I do not understand sometimes how to put it out, but
the fact that you're the first source, friend, I think that's perfect. And, sometimes, I nag you about taking yourself out, your self-care. She knows. Mama's self-care, I believe, you cannot fill, maybe it's because of experience I had, you can't fill from an empty cup.
True.
So, what have you been doing to fill your cup?
Your friend. This one is a big one, because, like I said, no, honestly, but I think I'm better now. There was a time where my life revolved around my kids, all the day.
I know.
Sorry to say them, but it was that bad. I wouldn't do anything because my kids, and I've always had nanny. In comparison to you, friend, I've always had nannies all my time, so there's someone to stay with them and all of those things. But I think I've just always made excuses. But I think it's something that starts from inside, how I feel about myself, because there was a time where I didn't want to go outside, I didn't want to be seen and all of those things. But I think now, I do make time, and thank you for the mommy yes, because I think that's also one thing that has pushed me to say, okay, it's okay for me to go out, look good, do something out of my comfort zone. And also now I have this thing, when I come back from work, my kids know now the first 30 minutes you don't disturb mommy.
That's good. Is that your time?
So that's me time. So it's for me to recharge, so that I can be, so that my cup is full when I have to interact with them, because they want to ask questions. They want, mommy, how was your day? Mommy, this happened at school. So for me to be able to listen and interact with them, I need to be whole myself, not that they need to fill me up. That's not fair on them to put those expectations. So I'm focusing a lot on the self-love and whatnot. And also there was a time when I used to dress up or bath, and the kids were like, where are you going? Hey, that question, I'm like, okay. So when I dress up, it means I'm going somewhere. I can't dress up and sit in the house. That bothered me a lot. With my kids have this image of me that, and they also say, you're not going to Olive, Mama, you're not going to work, right? I'm like, why, but you dressed up? I'm like, no. So they had this expectation that mommy only dresses up if she's going to church, or if she's going somewhere. It's not normal for mommy to dress up and stay in the house. I said, I need to change that. I need to change that.
I hear you.
So that's some form of self-love and self-care and whatnot. But I think it's important to take time out, guys. We do a lot as mothers, as wives, as sisters, as friends. We do a lot. But I think it's important to feed yourself. It's important, like I said, it's not fair for you to say my kids are my everything. It's an unfair expectation, or my partner is my everything or whatnot. So you need to be your everything, so that you can be able to feel those other roles in your lives. You can't say you love someone but you do not know how to love yourself.
No, you're
That's
right.
not fair,
Because especially now with us having a boy and a girl, our actions, they get to observe and say, okay, so this is how, like our sons will be like, this is how a woman will be like. And we are rewiring that. We are changing that view. And yeah, I like that you said that. I like that you're doing it. No, it shows. I haven't seen it in a while. So
it's a work in progress.
It shows, friend. It shows. So now I'm going to ask you about, we're going to close soon. We'll talk forever.
Yeah, no.
What is that one thing you want to install in both your kids, both male and female?
Okay. It's okay not to be okay. That's the first thing. It's okay not to have your ducks in what, friend? That's saying
in a row.
Yes, Hey, but it all boils down to it's okay for them not to be perfect. It's okay for them to be themselves, however they want to be. It's okay. Like let's say for instance, one day my child says, my boy says I'm gay, or my girl says I'm lesbian. It's okay,
Okay.
So the most important thing is I want my kids to be free to be themselves and not to compare themselves to other people, because also that's why I try by all means to make sure that I'm very present in all their needs, even though I can't feed all of their needs, but the most basic important ones, the presence, spending time with them, the information, like you said, I don't want them to one day go out and say, tell someone else that I started my period and they couldn't tell me. That would hurt me so much.
I would cry, friend. I would cry.
So I've already told them if certain things happen, we're gonna buy this box for you. We're gonna fill it up with nice things because this. So they know, like they're already now excited to get their period. So with the boy as well, like I don't want him to one day be scared to tell us that now he has a girlfriend, or to say that I want to be a chef instead of an engineer, or I want to be, because also society says there's certain roles for women, there's certain roles for, so I want them to just be, be themselves, express themselves how they want to be, because I never got that. I mean, not that there was something wrong with my parents, guys, but I was told that you need to do this, you can't challenge me, you can't, stuff like that.
Oh, I totally agree. I said this. No, like, people must not ever don't get your parents wrong. They raised us during a time where their knowledge is what they know.
Yes.
We're raising our kids during a time where our knowledge is what we know.
Yes.
That's why things are so different in how we're approaching them.
Yeah, true.
And by the sound of it, your kids have been like your teacher.
Yeah.
Like from everything we've spoken about, they sound like your teacher. Yes. So what's that one thing they've taught you? Oh, let's say two. Let's make it two. Because it's two. We're talking about two genders. The two things they taught you about life. I mean, I'll tell you so that it can help you.
Yeah.
Can see, like, oh, it's so deep. That my heart can divide, but divide equally.
Yeah.
And that compassion doesn't start from outside, it starts from within.
Yeah, friend.
I had to learn that. And if you know, I'm very tough on myself. So I have been learning that. And I'm so thankful for my beautiful kids for that.
Oh, yeah, ne. What have my kids taught me? Guys, that I'm beautiful the way I am, because they tell me that, which is something that I struggled in believing over the years, Mommy, you're so beautiful. Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be like you. Mommy. And that time, you're like...
And they can't lie because now they're older. Their mind is so well developed.
Yes. So now I'm getting emotional.
I know.
But I think that's one thing that I appreciate about them. They constantly remind me, even when I'm feeling my worst or looking my worst, they're like, but mommy, even though sometimes they tell me, but mommy, you look fat now, but you still look beautiful. That's so my son. No, mommy, you look fat, but like she said, I have feather duster eyelashes, guys, but you still look beautiful. So that's the first thing. And then the second one, what is it? It's important for me to stand my ground and have boundaries. Because if I do not have boundaries, they're gonna copy that, So I had to learn to set boundaries in my life, because they're watching me, you know, and also it's certain things that we in our weekly check-in meetings we speak about the boundaries, how far can you go, and also, you know, how should you address people and all of those things. So those two things, the beauty in me and the boundaries.
Nice, that's beautiful, friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
That's a pleasure. Are we done?
Yes. It's because
oh my God,
I'm so good at this.
No, you are, friend. You are.
Thank you so much for joining us, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. And you can also go to our Instagram page called _mommy_for more resources and tips. Thank you.